the content of the course, which is for the data wrangling. And let's start first with the content. In the content you have two chapters. You have first chapter on the Linux, and then you have the chapter on the Python. Here is the list of different code functions that will help you with the data processing of the text information. What is interesting here? Let's start with Linux. We have here a list of commands for you which will allow you to process the text, transform it in the way as you want, whether it is adding some information, removing positional characters, and so on. And this is everything is covered in the part for the Linux. It also allows you to do crawling completely from your terminal, which is also very helpful and very fast if you're interested in getting the text from the website. Even more, it allows you to automate some tasks like conversion of the documents from one format to another at scale, given you have multiple thousands and millions of documents. And it will also allow you to parse the XML files, whether these are files in folder or in multiple folders. And so this is also very, very helpful. Coming to the Python, this is where it gets the most interesting. Some functions in Python, especially with NLP, they take longer time, but you can run it from the server, and we will show you how to run it from the server very fast and efficiently, so you don't need to purchase a new computer or do it from your own personal machine. Right, so the chapters that are covered in the Python, normally when you have a huge text and it has multiple attributes, you want to split them, either comma separated, but we prefer the vertical pipe. And you can search in each of the columns, and you will have the dictionary how to search within these columns. You may have such case when you have the same column, the first column, the ID, while you will have different next columns, but you want to merge them on the common key, so you will also have the code for that. If we are talking about extraction of emails from the text, you will also have that code as well as validation of the emails. If you're interested to split the document on some specific words, you will have the code for that, and there is no AI recognition, but this is just the hard-coded split, but it is very helpful if you know that the position of that word or that context is not changing from one document to another. Then you can take those subparts into separate documents. We will be also showing how to search for the text on the websites, and here it includes whether it is the headlines, whether these are the menu items from the website. So you crawl the websites with the Linux package, but you exploit with the Python. And if you want to jump between the Linux and Python and do everything from Python, you also have the way how to run it from Python, your CMD commands. We will be using the server, and we will show how to set up the DNS records. So it works well to deploy your website, or if you need just to run some text processing and you need high RAM, we can set up how to run the script from the server pretty fast. If you need some how can I see the content around that searched word, we will be also showing it. Adding IDs to each line, this is must have. This is something which you will use very fast in your very often in your day-to-day work. Substitution of characters, multiple characters, this is helpful when you have a huge number of characters which you need to substitute, but you want to save time instead going with one by one. Then we have the calculations of different equations which can plot graphs, and the challenge here is that first you need to plot an equation, then you take the fit to the line or to that shape that you want, and then you take the angle. So in our case we will take the slope, and this you are doing for many numbers, taking the average and for many lines. So this is some huge matrix of several millions, but still it's pretty doable. Then we have some prediction, text-based prediction of specific outcome based on the words which are inside of those texts. We also have spacing, right? We have the stop words, we have specific word types, and we have that what we call author de-ambiguation, but in your specific case it can be different content, but still it is the same code which can be used, right? Let's say if you need to do the iterations, right, different combinations, and you can reuse this code for iterations for any other content as well, but you will see how it gets done. And in fact this is the hottest, right, but it consumes RAM a lot, so you need to set up it from the pretty great server with high RAM, maybe like 32, 60, 64 gigabyte, so it runs fast. Okay, so this is such an overview of the content that we will cover. So we will start with Linux commands, and then we will move to the Python, and we will have the data sets as an example for each of those, so you can see on your own eyes how to do it and how the data is structured and how it gets transformed using these commands. So let's come to the Linux code. So what we have here, let's go simply here one by one, right? So the first line, it allows to split the file, whether it is on byte or on line. Whether if you want line, you write -l, you want byte, you write -b, and you write the author, the file name, and then the file will be split in that folder where you are. So I'm currently in the folder data wrangling, so if you're doing it from your terminal, the first function, which is you have the text file. The text file has multiple columns split on vertical pipe. Here you have the indexes of each of the column from 0 to 13, so you have 14 columns in total. And the task is we want to find the word Munich or München in affiliation. So what we are writing here, that our affiliation cells, they are with the index 3, and we are interested in the full text search. This is very helpful, such dictionary structure, when you want to do the full text search, but not on the line, right, and printed line. You want to search in a specific cell, and when you search in a specific cell, you can do the full text search, or you can do some modifications with it, but this is the structure that you will write. You will write the position of each of that cell, the naming, and then you will do the search through it and paste it to the root. It does the transfer of the file. You can do also the same from this terminal, but sometimes maybe something can go wrong or whatever. So using such front end is way better. Now you see I have my folder, data wrangling, and I have everything in that folder. And when I'm at terminal, I can say, okay, let's do cd, then this /n, and let's say data. Okay, so the list object before had no partition, right? No attribute such one to partition, so I need to convert it to a string. So I converted this lines to a string, and now I execute it, and now it has no further complaints. So if you open the ORT, what you see here now, you see such things, right? Now you would ask yourself, okay, how do I work with this text? So what you have here, you have such /n, then you have such one, then you have comma, then you have number, then you have